What's up, everybody? This is Joe Reizer. This is episode 3 of Real Talk, and today we have a very special guest. That is the one and only Jake the Viking.
Hi. I just dabbed. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know you like it. We'll put the background applause afterwards and chance.
Lit!
So how's everything?
Good. Well, as good as it can be, honestly. With everything going on. We'll stay political free.
Yes.
But with everything going on, we're as good as we can be.
Yeah. We have to be very careful. Whatever we talk about, current events, we could get flagged.
Because YouTube.
So, yes. So maybe a couple of people on my channel might not be aware of, your whole backstory.
Of course.
I was hoping to learn a little bit more about you and, your fitness aspects as opposed to just overall content creation.
Yeah, of course. All right, so I'll just give full background real quick. Born and raised in Eastern North Carolina.
Okay.
Most of my life I spent in New Bern, North Carolina, which is right on the coast. Both my parents were in education, so education was a very large part of my childhood. My mom was my principal in 7th and 8th grade, so that was fun.
So there's had to be some perks about that.
There were great perks. I got bullied so much, it was great.
And how tall were you then?
I was the tallest. I don't remember my exact height, but I remember I was wearing a size 13 shoe in 7th grade.
So you still were not someone to pick on.
Yeah, but people picked on me anyway. I guess because I was like the biggest, so everyone wants to pick on the biggest. But
you're a gentle giant, though.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Started playing football. I played like 1 year of like Pop Warner. I don't even remember it because it was like so long ago, but I hardly remember any of it. I remember my dad was one of the assistant coaches, but that was about it. I started playing actual football 7th grade, 8th grade, and then 9th grade all through high school. 9th grade is when my whole fitness journey kind of began because that's the first time I ever lifted a weight was 9th grade in high school. I did weightlifting? Yeah. So you would have 4 classes first semester, 4 classes second semester. Because I know everywhere it's different.
Yep. No, mine was similar to that. We either had you could do yoga in mine. They had yoga. They had paddleball and pickleball and all that stuff. And then you had weightlifting too.
Okay, yeah. So I did weightlifting. I always doubled it up. So I had a year of weight training every year. Then we also had summer workouts. But that's when I started playing football. Football became like my pride and joy because I found out I was good at it, especially going into like my junior year. And that's when letters started coming in from like South Carolina, NC State, UNC, East Carolina, Duke, like everywhere. But I was a diehard LSU fan, and a lot of people are like, well, how are you an LSU fan? Because you're from North Carolina. Well, my dad used to officiate women's college basketball, and he had a game in New Orleans. Okay. And he brought me back an LSU t-shirt. This was in 7th grade. And from that moment forward, I was a diehard LSU fan.
So that's simple. Just that.
That's simple. Well, you know how easily like manipulative you are as a kid to like fall in love with something.
No, yeah. For me, some of my favorite teams were literally because of one player.
Yeah.
I'll have one favorite player and I'll love that team forever, no matter what.
And I got lucky because I think the year I became a diehard fan, they had like a really good season. So of course I was like, oh, these are so dope. This is awesome. Every like NCAA football game that came out, I was doing like the Heisman Road and I was a wide receiver at LSU for some reason every year. Every year the game came out, wide receiver LSU, boom, that was it. But yeah, so I played football all through high school. My senior year, I was only offered by 2 D1 AA schools. So you have D1 and then D1 AA, then D2, D3, all that fun stuff.
Well, you got a letter from UNC though. I'm a UNC fan, so that's cool.
So funny story with UNC. So what happened to me my senior year? This happens to a lot of players. So this is like a little knowledge for any parents out there with potential like student athletes or student athletes in general. Yeah. This happened. So I was getting recruited by a lot of D1 schools, pretty much every D1 school in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I had South Carolina, some Virginia schools like Virginia Tech and UVA were starting to show a little bit of interest. Okay. I had talked with LSU. So like there was a lot going on. My senior year, right? Probably my best year, my senior year, there was coaching changes at LSU, South Carolina, UNC, NC State, East Carolina, UVA, Virginia Tech, everywhere that had me on their board had a coaching change. And with that coaching change, my name went out the window. Everywhere.
No,
UNC they invited me to their invite-only camp, which are
that must have been pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. Invite-only camps are some of the only camps I really, like, truly believe in that aren't, like, just money grabbers.
Yeah, they're serious about giving you a look. You know, they want to see.
Yeah. They're like, hey,
is it almost like a combine?
Yeah, it's like a 3-day combine, kind of like assess all your skills and like everything.
That's cool.
They had brought me in as a tight end, which was like my favorite position of all time.
Well, were you that in high school?
No, I was offensive line, but I was like 6'5", 220 playing O-line. It was
you would have been a nasty linebacker.
I know. I don't know
why you weren't. Yeah.
No one. I lost. This isn't trying to brag. This is legit. My senior year, I lost maybe 3 or 4 times off a defensive end.
Okay.
And 2 of those times legitimately came from my senior night where I was playing with a partially torn MCL.
Oof.
I was on like so much pain meds.
Right.
And I had a massive brace on. My kick slide was terrible. And that was like one of the first times I ever got beat.
You couldn't get your footing right.
No.
Yeah.
After that game when I was in the shower, the pain meds wore off. I was in the most pain ever. And I was supposed to take.
Did you win?
We won, yeah, thankfully.
Okay.
But
so, tears of joy, but it's like, oh, I'm good.
Dude. I was supposed to take the SAT that day after. I was in so much pain, I didn't go. I was like, I can't. I was like,
brain check.
I woke up and my knee was just throbbing. I was like, I'm good.
Oh my God.
I'm good.
Did you need surgery or anything, or just held it on its own?
No, since it was only a partial tear, they're like, there's no point in having surgery because then you're off for so long. We'll just do rehab and strengthen your knee. And
it'll heal as long as it's not complete.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, that's fine. But yeah, so I went to UNC's invite-only camp. You know, I was like their top recruited tight end there because they put me up against their star linebacker recruit. Okay. And I remember this day, I ran a 12 to 15-yard flag route, which is a corner, right? Dude, I smoked the linebacker, caught a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch, boom. Tight end coach came up. We were all having a great time. It was lit. But then after the camp, a month went by. This is what triggered me. A month went by, hadn't heard anything from UNC. And I was like, well, this is weird because the camp went so well. What's the deal? So called the coach who was recruiting me there, and he goes, oh, well, we already had 2 tight ends commit before you. And I was like, I was never offered.
Yeah.
So come to find out, one coach thought they were offering me at the camp. The other one thought they were offering me after the camp. And so when they didn't hear anything, they thought I just wasn't interested whatsoever. And so they had other kids. I was like, whatever.
So overall, miscommunication for both of them.
Yeah. So my whole goal when I was going to college was like, yo, I want the football atmosphere, sports to be the thing, crazy, all that. Go to William & Mary, not even close.
No, it's a private school, right?
Yeah. It's like a private public school.
Well, that's how mine was.
Yes, it's not private, but it is. Which is, I don't know.
Very expensive.
But I remember very. I was on a half scholarship, bro. It was
okay.
What? But I remember we made it to the year before. What sold me was the year before. William & Mary had gone to so D1AA has the playoffs. And William & Mary had gone to the semifinals, played Villanova, lost to Villanova by a point, and then Villanova won the national title in D1AA. And I was like, well, they're good. Let's go. I'm going there. I want to go like champions, right? We went there. We won the conference, the CAA conference, my freshman year.
Okay.
And we had a first round bye. It was amazing. But we go into the second round. This is what triggered me. We're in the second round of the playoffs. We're like one of the top seeds, right? If we win out, we're home every game, right? No students were at the game because they were all studying for finals. Wow. And I was just like, what? Y'all don't care? I was like, that's kind of messed up. So the stadium's small already, but now you take out the little bit of students that did come, and it's empty. And I'm just like, bruh.
It's basically all sporting events right now.
Yeah. There's no one there.
WWE empty.
It's going to be empty completely.
Oh, my God.
Completely. Dude. And I was just like, all right, whatever. But my freshman year, I had also not partially. I had shredded my labrum in my shoulder during practice.
Jeez.
I was on a scout team, and it was a defensive end who like did the whole fake into coverage, then come last minute, or was an outside linebacker. And I had punched, and when I punched, my arm got caught, twisted, and then pulled, all in like a quick jerk. And as soon as it happened, I felt like a pop.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought I just like pulled out a socket real quick and went back in. And I was kind of like, well, that hurt. And I was like, that's kind of weird. Then not 2 minutes later, I had no power in my arm.
Yeah.
Like none. It was the weirdest thing. Like if I were to, you see how easy the mic is to move? You see that?
Yeah.
I couldn't move the mic with my arm.
You couldn't lift your arm.
Yeah. So they were like, all right, well, let's see what's wrong. Cause I was still trying to practice. Cause I was like, you know, I ain't no bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I was still trying to practice. And I was like, I can't do anything. So I went to the trainer and they were like, all right, put your arm straight down by your side, lift them straight up in front of you. Bro, my arm stopped. Hold on. My arm stopped. Hold on. Where am I at?
You got to do a squat.
Here.
Okay.
My arm stopped here. And it felt like I had like a 300-pound dumbbell trying to do front arm raises.
To bring it up, yeah.
And I was just like, what's happening? So come to find out I had shredded it. If you look at a clock, so 1 to 5 is the front of the shoulder, 7 to 11 is the back of the shoulder.
Okay.
The front of the shoulder was torn from like 1 to 2, maybe 2.5. The back was straight like 7 to 11. Just shredded.
So your arm was almost off.
Yeah. So
Jesus.
I was done for the season. This is only like a month and a half into the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I was done. You know, my freshman year was over, and I was like, all right, well, I'll just get to hang out and watch. Had surgery, and this was the deciding factor that made me want to leave William & Mary. Because the biggest thing is if you're not happy somewhere, you can transfer. If you're not happy, don't stick it out because you're just miserable.
Yeah, the rest
like
of the time.
I was.
And you're paying big money, so
you're paying.
Mm-hmm.
Even on scholarship, you're still technically you're paying in some way.
Yeah,
whether
it's
a
discount. It's a discount basically.
Yeah, like so I was on half scholarship, so I was still paying, but I was also sacrificing my body for somewhere that I wasn't fully committed to.
Now, did you have a specific major you were going for then?
I was undecided.
Okay.
I was so undecided.
Oh, yeah,
I was
at that point, you have no ties to stick.
Exactly.
To
that. I was kind of considering business because William & Mary has a really good business school. So I was kind of
never understood the business degree.
Neither do I, but that's kind of what I was
like a lot of
it's
experience. It's like you need to test the waters of. I mean, depending on what the business is, I guess. But
yeah, so I was just gonna do that because I was like kind of like dabbling in and out of it, but I was like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what really was the deciding factor was the next year. So I had a really great summer, and I had a really great fall camp, and I was number 2 on the depth chart at right tackle. You know, so I was second team right tackle. Boom, we're set. I had to wear a stupid ass shoulder brace where you can't move your arm any. Like they try to get me. And when you're playing offensive line at the college level, you have to be able to play every position. Me trying to get into a left-handed stance with that shoulder harness was not working. You're like this, like it's like not even trying to joke right now. You're just like
it's like the big Kratos like shield.
Yes,
thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. You cannot do anything with it. But so we go in, first game of the year, we're playing UVA, right? And I'm sitting there like, this is awesome at UVA. This is sick. This place is dope. Get to travel. And during like the third or fourth quarter, we're getting stomped. Like 41-3, stomped. Okay. Our right tackle goes down with guess what? Shoulder injury. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to go in. I'm the backup right tackle. I should go in. I had a great summer. This is perfect. I'm about to go in.
Yeah.
Everyone's telling me, yo, Jake, get ready. It's your chance. It's your chance. Oh, you about to go in. I'm like, all right, cool, getting ready. Next thing I know, the offensive line coach, we're getting smoked, by the way, moves the left tackle to right tackle and puts in the backup left tackle.
Oh, my God.
And I was just like, okay, whatever. That's cool. And then what really triggered me, there's like 2 minutes left in the game. It's 41-3. We have no timeouts left. Virginia has the ball, and my offensive line coach comes to me and goes, Jake, get ready. You're going in next possession. I'm like, what possession we getting? Yeah. You talking about next week? We're not getting the ball back, buddy. We're not getting the ball back. I don't know if you know how this works. Yeah. It's not happening. Wow. But then the next week we were playing Virginia Military Institute, which is like, I mean, you know who they are, but like their team wasn't that great. And I was like, I'm for sure playing. Dude, the coach just rearranged the entire offensive line. And I was like, I'm like, do you just not like me? Have I done something? Like, so.
I mean, maybe that's the injury that you're more just careful. I don't know.
But then I went through like 3 or 4 more games and then we were up at Delaware. This is the last game I ever participated with William and Mary.
Okay.
We went up to Delaware, and I remember standing on the sideline, and my shoulder was just in pain, just standing there.
Oh wow!
And I was like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, mine hurts. It hurts to the point. And being in football, you're gonna have pain. You're gonna be sore. Everything's gonna ache. But this was like, something's not right. So I went and told the doctor that was there. He goes, "Yeah, come see us tomorrow." I was like, "Okay, cool." Went and saw him. They went and did some tests. They gave me another was it MRI or whatever. I had another tear on my labrum, but this time on the top.
Oh, it happened in practice, I guess, right?
I guess. I have no idea. And I was just like, whatever. I'm sitting out. I'm done. I was like, I don't even care anymore. And so I just like set out the rest of the season. I was not going to deal with it. I just did rehab stuff. My freshman year, we had a away game. No, I think we had a away game or a home game. Okay. And if you weren't dressing out, it wasn't mandatory to go. So me and my dad got tickets to the LSU Alabama game, and I flew down to LSU to go to the LSU Alabama game at LSU. It was the last time. It was in 2010, so it was the last time LSU beat Alabama at LSU until this previous year. I was there.
Yeah. So throughout this whole journey, you said you were an LSU fan since
7th grade.
Yeah.
And so here I am living Mary, and I'm kind of just like, I want to try and go to LSU. Like,
yeah, go for it.
I'm not happy here. I'm not playing. My grades are suffering because I showed no interest in, like, I was missing so many classes because I was like, I just don't want to go. Right.
You know, no motivation to.
And none. And so finally, when I quit playing for the rest of the season, I had like that conversation with myself. It's like, you either leave now and take that leap of faith,
you're never going to do it,
or stay here and flunk out and never be able to basically recover from flunking out. And so I told my parents, I was like, hey, I want to try and transfer to LSU. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, like legitimately. They're like, you may never play football again. I was like, I'm willing to take that chance.
Yeah, to get there.
So what was it? December of 2011, I met with my coaches, was like, peace, I'm heading out. My dream is to be an LSU Tiger. Obviously, that's never going to happen if I stay here. And I really want to try and push that dream because I don't want to be stuck 50 years from now doing that what if. Yeah. And that's always been –
they weren't playing you there, so might as well go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was like, my whole life has been based off the don't have a what if. Mm-hmm. If there's something I want to do, go for it. Yeah. Because the worst thing that can happen is you come up short. But anyway, so left William & Mary, went to a community college, got my associate's degree. In that time frame, got up with one of the coaches down at LSU who remembered me from the camp, which was Coach Sam Nader. He's in charge of player personnel. Okay. They invited me down. And I met with Les Miles, and they basically told me, like, if you're here in June, you're on the team as a walk-on. And I was like,
done.
Bet. Yep. So then it was like June 12th of 2013. So this is a whole almost a year and a half later, right? I packed up my truck in New Bern, North Carolina, said goodbye to my parents, and drove 16 hours to Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Wow.
And then walked on as an LSU Tiger, fulfilled my dream. It was an uphill battle because I was a walk-on. Mm-hmm. I lost my first ever Big Cat, which was embarrassing. The Big Cat, the one-on-one, the head up, I lost it terribly.
Well, now it's size difference. How are these guys?
So William & Mary, big guys. Most of your big guys were just the offensive line. Right. Height, I was kind of on the tallest of the group.
Yes.
Go to LSU. Completely different world. Everyone was giants. Everyone. Yeah. From the defensive line, offensive line, you had some tall receivers.
I'm sure, monsters. Yeah.
I remember our backup quarterback, which was Steven Rivers, Phillip Rivers' younger brother, quarterback for the Chargers. Yeah. He was 6'7".
Wow.
So he's taller than me, and I was just like, "You're a quarterback, my guy."
Well, aren't a lot of quarterbacks pretty tall usually?
Some are, but it was like this guy was like. Jesus. Yeah. Like most of the quarterbacks I played with, like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, I think Tom Brady's like 6'4".
Yeah, but here I was. This is the crazy part. Here I was at LSU on the same team as celebrities.
Yeah, pros.
And what's crazy is, when I look back now, I was on the same team. Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Jeremy Hill. We got who else? We got Trey White, Leonard Fournette, Daniil Hunter.
Now, were they on their way out when you got there, or they were still?
So most of them, a lot of guys I only played a year with because they forewent their senior year.
Yes.
Which means in case there's anybody watching who don't understand, when it comes to college sports, when it comes to football, you have to play college essentially for 3 years, and then you can declare for the draft. Okay. Whereas like basketball, it's one and done, which I think they're trying to get rid of. But
if that, yeah.
Yeah, so college football, you have to play 3 years. When I played with Odell and Jarvis, they were on their 3rd year.
Gotcha.
And so then when I was there, they dipped out. But it was I got to meet all of them. Like Odell still follows me on Instagram, small flex. But it was super cool. But I played my last 2 years there, only played in 2 games, which I didn't care about. My first game was against ULM, and I went in for 1 play, and it was the Victor formation, which is the best play in all of college football. Game's over, you won. Dude, I went on the field like this. I'm not even doing anything. I was just like, bro.
Yeah.
But
the stadium vibe is insane.
Yeah. Okay. I was literally about to say that. The first time I got to run out from Tiger Stadium, it was packed, and it was before. So my first year there, they were building the extension, like the new part of the stadium. Right. And my last year, they had finished it. So we got I got to play in front of 103,000 people.
Oh my God. Dude, it's just been
Dude, you run out. I remember running out for senior night.
Yeah, there's a tunnel, right?
Yeah. Dude, we came out after oh my God, dude, chills.
I had 2 experiences of that because in high school we went to the state championship at Rutgers.
Yeah.
So we got to go through, their practice bubble. We ran through the tunnel and everything when I was a sophomore. So I only got to play 2 plays in this championship game. But
how old are you?
I had a similar experience.
How old are you?
Yeah. 27.
But no, so there I graduated with a general studies degree. I had no idea what I wanted to do with life. Yeah. This is funny. Everyone's like, why don't you try out for the NFL? I tried twice. 3 years in a row. I tried. I went to, so there's these things called, so you can get invited to the NFL Combine.
Yes.
It's legitimately invite only.
I'm so interested in that. I love watching.
Yeah. But I think the Combine's the dumbest thing ever because you want me.
The tests are kind of dumb.
It's like you want me to go into an empty stadium that's quiet, and you want me to perform at my best ability.
Well, I thought the Combine was mostly like the lifts. Like I used to always think it was like, football testing, like in high school. Like power clean, squats, your 40, your pro agility, your all that stuff.
It's literally just you do the bench.
Yeah, 225.
Vert jump, broad jump. You do the L drill. You do your 5-10-5 shuttle. Of course, you do your 40. Yeah, and then but then you just do like position drills, and it's like, and you want me to perform at my best.
Yeah.
1, in an empty stadium that's quiet, and 2, with the amount of pressure of all 32 NFL teams staring at me.
Hey, you gotta be ready.
It's like, come Lord. But no, I got lucky. So being at LSU, even if you don't make it to the NFL Combine, at LSU's Pro Day, which is basically where they host their own NFL Combine, but it's for everyone that was a part of the team. We got all 32 NFL teams were represented there, plus some Canadian teams. So it's like you're still getting everyone. Like these schools like that, like LSU, Alabama, all that. It's like it's there.
Cool.
And I basically auditioned twice for the NFL.
Do you say audition for NFL?
Yeah, I said audition. Yeah, I auditioned. My second year was way better than my first year, admittedly.
How's your 225?
Bro, I only got 15 reps.
Okay.
Because it was the first time. They only let me do it once. But the first time, I only got 15 reps because on the 14th rep, I hit the rack.
Oh, yeah, so fucked you up.
Threw my rhythm all off. Because my first 3 were kind of like whatever, but then from 4 on, I was just sitting there. I was in a groove, pumping it out, 14 rep, ding, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yep.
And that's when it just downhill.
Yeah.
My 40 time was better. My second year, I ran like a 4.7 my second year. My first year was like a 4.89, 4.9, which is terrible for tight end. But when my second year, I was doing defensive end drills, like bag drills, killing it. I was doing
how was the shoulder at this point?
My shoulder's been fine ever since then. Yeah, my shoulder's been great. Like I had problems working out. It'll get super sore, but then other than that, it's fine.
Okay.
Buffalo Bills actually called me during the draft, my second year.
All right.
They called me during like the 4th or 5th round. And then they were like, all right, well, we're going to talk to head coach and the owner and see if this is what we want to do. And then we'll get back to you. I was like, all right, cool. Never heard back.
Would you?
I was like, that's a win. A team called me during the draft. That's all I could ask for. But at this point, I'm thankful because the amount of injuries I've sustained in what was my football career, I would never wish on anyone. I'm sitting at 6 or 7 concussions, like legitimate head ringers. Like my last 2 were the worst ever.
After some technical difficulties with the weather, we just lost power, and this is day 2.
Day 2. How many times did you lose power yesterday? Like twice?
All day, 4 times.
4?
Twice immediately after we were recording, in between, and then when we tried to reschedule last night at 9, I lost it again. So clear skies today. We're good to go. Let's pick up where we left off.
10 minutes later, storm comes in. It's like, you're done.
If that happens, this just isn't meant to be. I'm sorry.
It's for real. It's not. Yeah.
So we left off with, your concussion story at LSU.
Yes. Yes. It was, I was just talking about like the amount of injuries I've sustained. Like, I feel like when it comes down to it, when I have kids and if I have a son and if he wants to play football, I'm going to question if I'm going to actually let him play or not, because the amount of injuries you sustain, I just don't think it's worth it in the long run. Okay. I really don't. Because
it's funny to hear, because a lot of people would be the opposite, where they would push their kids to do it.
Oh yeah, but I'm like,
you're realistic about it.
It's like if I have a son and he really, 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 really wants to, I'm gonna let him do whatever he wants, right? I want to be in the position where, financially and just as a parent, if they want anything, I can get it for them. If they want to do anything, they can do it.
Of course.
But when it comes to football, like, everyone's trying to say, "Oh, we're making advancement in helmets." Okay, if I wrap an egg in a pillow and then throw it off a building, the egg's probably going to be fine. But what happened to the yolk inside?
Shaking around, yep.
Smacking around, and it's the same thing with your brain. Yeah, it's the same thing with your brain. So I'm like, and I'm sitting here now. I'm 28, and I'm already having effects of it, like memory loss. I'll forget randomly just what I'm talking about.
Ever anything with your vision at all?
I have time. There's some times where, like right now, if I'm watching, like I've got a stream pulled up because drops are going on right now, so I'm trying to get my drop. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'll have to say I'm watching this. All of a sudden, my focus will be manual. Does that make sense? Yeah. Where it's like, if you're not thinking about it, your eyes automatically focus on everything, all your point of view, all your references, right?
And you don't wear contacts or glasses.
I don't wear contacts or glasses, no. So, but then there'll be times where I'll just be sitting here, and if I'm not telling myself to focus, I won't have focus.
Okay.
And I'll just sit there and it only lasts a couple seconds until I start doing something else. There'll be times where it's like, focus is gone. Everything's kind of just out of focus.
Okay.
But it's more like memory issues. Like, there's sometimes where I can't even remember what I have for breakfast.
So short-term stuff then.
Short-term. There's some long-term. Like, I probably can't recall a single high school football game.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I can recall hardly any of my William & Mary games. Now, at the same time, it's like, is that memory loss, or is it because, like I said, I didn't play,
It's just aging, yeah.
Is it aging, or is it also you just did the same thing so many times, it all just blurred together?
I think it's like sometimes.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't really know what it is, but I do know I have like memory issues that I'm like, I don't think I would have these if it wasn't for the 6 to 7 concussions I got.
Right.
Because like I was saying last time, the last concussion I got was really bad, like blacked out before I even, like, there's no memory of me actually falling or anything.
Just went out.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know, but moving forward, so yeah, I graduated from LSU and had no idea what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Brother-in-law was a general manager of Best Buy at the time. He goes, "Hey, you should apply for Best Buy. It's fun." I was like, "Yeah, I like electronics. That's kind of something I could get into because I'm a nerd, geek, all that fun stuff." You know, Joe. I geek out over here.
Yep.
So I applied to Best Buy. I was working there for about a year and a half, 2 years. I had worked my way up to a sales floor lead. which is basically like a step under management. I was in charge of like the computers, cameras, all that kind of stuff. And it was like, it was cool. And I was thinking at that time I was making what I thought was like decent money.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Right. In comparison to that.
Yeah. I was making like 14 an hour, I think, being a step underneath
most
management.
Places is pretty good.
Yeah, so most places pretty good, but at the same time, it's like where I was living, everything was going to bills.
Okay.
And I would have like $100 or $200 left over to kind of do whatever I want. So I wasn't getting to travel like I wanted to. I wasn't getting to, buy cool things that I wanted to buy. I wasn't able to do stuff because it was like, I have like $100 or $200 in my bank account. I have to wait for my
freedom to progress like you wanted to.
Exactly. And like at the time, like I was telling myself, hey, this is cool. This is what you want to do. You could be a GM of a Best Buy. This is cool.
Yeah.
But a blessing in disguise came. I was in Baton Rouge back in, was it 2017, when it like rained for like 7 days straight and all of the Baton Rouge area flooded.
Really?
Like the whole, you can look at them now. Like if you look at the flood, places were just like houses were straight underwater, like 10 to 12 plus feet of flooding.
Like over cars.
Over cars, like some houses were completely underwater. One of the memes that came out of it was a picture of the state of Louisiana, but it was a drywall picture. So it was like a house wall, but it was cut at the 4-foot line. So you saw all those support beams, but it was like the state of Louisiana, because pretty much like in the entire like southern Louisiana, pretty much all had flooded. My house thankfully didn't flood, but we had about 8 inches of water around the house.
Okay.
Our house was elevated that I was renting. I had to move my car like 150, 200 yards away up onto a hill so that it didn't flood, because I had just gotten a Camaro, what they call them, LS, like the base model.
Yeah. Was that the Transformers coming around?
No, I didn't have that one. No. This one, but it was cool. It was manual. It was the V6. I didn't care. It was my car. I was paying for it, all that. So I had it at the end of the road. And well, the blessing was, the Best Buy store that I worked out had been flooded. It had 4 feet of water throughout the entire store. Well, through that, a third-party company had came in and was like, hey, any Best Buy employees affected by the flood can apply for financial aid. And our GM was going around telling everybody, yo, apply. It doesn't matter if you lost anything, just apply for it. Go for it, right? And I waited till like the very end to apply, because I was like, I don't need to apply. I didn't lose anything. My parents are well off. If I need anything, I can get it from them, whatever.
Yeah, you're
exactly. So finally I was just like, screw it, I'll apply. Applied for it. Like a week and a half later, I get a phone call from the HR company of Best Buy saying that they are doing an investigation on my application for fraud. And I was just sitting here like,
my boss told me.
Yeah, I was told to do this, just like everyone else in the store. Well, they're like, well, why'd you wait till the last minute? And I was like, because I didn't really need anything, because my parents were well off, but my boss kept telling us we should just apply anyway. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And of course, I'm super confused at the time. Like, why is the HR department of Best Buy doing an investigation for a third-party application?
Right.
I'm like, how does that intersect? Whatever. But then 2 weeks later, I ended up getting terminated from Best Buy for apparently a fraudulent application.
That was it. That's why you got kicked.
Yeah, that was it. So I was like, what? So went home. I called my mom. I told her I was fired. And she was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I had started to – have you ever heard of Smoothie King?
Yes.
I was going to be a store manager because a guy I had met through working at Best Buy owned a franchise. And he was like, dude, you'd be a great store manager. So I was like, all right, well, let me try that out now since I got fired. They were going to pay me like $45K a year or something like that.
At least it's stuff you're interested in. You figure Best Buy, electronics, cameras, everything. Smoothie King, protein shakes.
Exactly. So I was like, no, this is cool.
It's still in your wheelhouse,
Yeah, so it was cool, but I went.
Yeah.
And first day, I decided I was not doing it because they wanted me. They were training me to be a store manager.
Mm-hmm.
And the store I was at, the only 2 employees there was the store manager and the assistant store manager.
And
I'm like, what are you managing if you're having to do all the work?
Okay.
What is there? Because I was used to like the retail structure.
Yeah.
The managers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the managers over a department make sure the department people are doing what they're doing. They come and help when they need to. They oversee everything. Mm-hmm. Yet here I am at this Smoothie King, and I'm like, you're not really a store manager. You're a glorified employee who can fire people. So I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm out. I didn't want to work in food anyway. So we're getting to the fun part. I promise you, we're getting to the fun part. So that decision, after that happened, we got into the December of 2017, and I was like, I'm moving home. You know what? I'm doing it. I had some other things. So I got accused. This was the cool part. I got accused of stealing at the LSU football practice facility from the free protein refrigerator.
Like Muscle Milks?
Yeah, I got accused of stealing from it.
Okay.
Like, they tried to say,
after the season, like everything was done?
Yeah. Everything was done. This was like in December, like November, December, so it wasn't really anything going on. And they tried to accuse me of stealing from the refrigerator where it's free protein shakes for everyone.
Right.
And they were trying to say that I was taking all of the protein. And I'm like, all of it. Yeah, this is like a decent sized fridge. Like, I have a mini fridge. It wasn't a mini fridge. It's like a normal sized fridge.
Yeah, like you see them like a Wawa or like a.
And so I was telling them, I was like, so why don't you watch the cameras that you got everywhere? And of course, they're like, we don't need to. We know it's you. I was like, it's not me. And like, well, you're banned from ever coming here again. And the strength coach at the time, Tommy Moffitt, don't care saying his name, threatened to beat my head in with a baseball bat if I ever came back. Wow. And I was like, okay, you just threatened me for accusing me of something I didn't do, whatever. So I moved home. So I was like, screw it, moving home, don't care, moving home.
Did you ever see those meetings where it's like, how many grams of protein do you eat? For you to be like, all of them. Yeah, because I need to take 5 duffel bags of protein with me when it's free, and I could just get it every day because I went there to work out every day. And now you graduated at this point?
Yeah, I was already graduated. I graduated in general studies.
Okay.
Hey. So I moved home because I was like, it's the best case scenario. I'll move home, live home. Because my biggest thing was I had that mentality where I was like, I've graduated college. I'm like, I was 23 or 24 at the time. I was like, I shouldn't move home. Why would I move home? Right? You know, it's like that kind of thing where it's like, if you move back home and live with your parents, I was like, that's almost like you failed. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't hear about what's like, you don't hear about how many people move home and live at home after college until you actually do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And when you're time, like, oh, they're still home. Okay.
Yeah. Because so it's like, I wasn't hearing about anybody, you know, moving back home after they graduated. All I was hearing about were the success stories. People were like, yeah, I graduated with this degree and I've got a job in this city. I'm making this much right away. And I'm sitting here like,
yeah, what am I doing?
Being a student athlete, I didn't get access to any of that because I couldn't do any of the, what are they called? Internships. Yeah. Couldn't do any of that. Didn't have time for it.
I didn't either. You know? I didn't do it.
Yeah. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? So I moved home. My parents own an antique store, which as of today is probably the nicest and like the best antique store in all of North Carolina. Awesome. Right. My mom has done an incredible job with it. You know, it's insane. So I moved home and I was like, you know what? I'm going to work at the store while I try and push this whole YouTube thing.
Okay.
Right. So I started my own YouTube channel. I was doing the dumb vlogs. I was doing like song covers, you know, I was just like, whatever.
I scrolled back and saw a couple of them.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway. So I was doing that, and every day mom's just like, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be? What are you going to do? And I was like, I don't know. And then that's when my brother-in-law had met this Mr. Beast guy who was apparently, that's exactly my reaction. Cause at this time I'll be the guy. I was watching Logan Paul. All right. Okay. This is pre Suicide Forest.
But this was Vine time, probably.
No, this is after Vine time. Okay. Vine time
happened. I thought he was very funny on Vine, and then I started to not like it as much.
Yeah. So I wasn't big into Vine. I missed that whole stage because I was in Baton Rouge doing that. When I moved home, I started watching more Logan Paul because I really liked, you know, his energy that he brought to YouTube.
Right. I like Bradley Martin. That would be a better one.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was watching him. I was watching some other people. Never even heard of this Mr. Beast dude. And I was just sitting there. I was like, dude, I want to make a channel like that. That's cool. Well, then my brother-in-law had met him, and they had offered him to be his manager.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, that's dope. I was like, that's really cool. Still don't know who the guy is. And he's like, well, would you want to work for him? And I was like, sure, that'd be kind of fun. Work for a YouTube channel. I was like, I don't really know how much, like, what all's going to be involved, but yeah. So like a week or two went by, and then he was like, hey, you got an interview this day, you know, with his mom to see if you'd be a fit. And I was like, okay.
And we had the interview. At what point did you look him up before doing this?
The day I got the job. Okay. I got offered. I pretty much. Really? I was offered the job the day I was in the interview.
And then you're like, all right, let me see who this guy is.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, let me look at these videos. Oh, okay. So this is what he does. And I was like, okay. Stuff, yeah. So yeah, I had legitimately no idea who Mr. Beast was until I started working for him.
Well, I had no idea who he was until I met you. So
yeah,
don't feel too bad.
And we didn't meet till I finally got Shelby to respond to me on Instagram. Yes. Only took like a year and a half for that to happen.
Yeah, persistence right there.
Yeah, but no. So I was with Mr. Beast for almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. I was just shy of 2 years before we split ways, and now I'm doing my own thing. Thankfully, I had like grown a brand while I was with him, so I've got a following, and now it's transferring into Twitch and my own YouTube channel and Instagram and TikTok, and now here we are.
and I've seen, everyone says you were their favorite.
I know I've seen a lot of that, but then of course, the part of me is just like, are you saying everyone's your favorite when you comment on their picture? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But
go back and look at everybody else's page. Are they saying it there too?
Yeah, it's like, let me see this. Hold on.
Cross check it.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was really cool. Like I had a great time with the Mr. Beast channel. Learned a lot. Got to do a lot of stuff I never thought to get.
Oh yeah, you're always traveling all the time. I remember every time you were telling me.
Yeah.
And everything. So.
And I really think the Mr. Beast channel helped me meet Shelby. I don't know how.
And it also just gave you the experience for what you're doing now. Like,
exactly.
It made me how to do things.
It made me really. It allowed like me to actually see what it was I love to do day in and day out, which is create content, entertain, and like be someone people can look up to as inspiration.
That as your internship.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I feel like my story was like such a roller coaster. Right. That like I feel like a lot of people like to hear it when I tell it. I don't know. Well, whatever. But
so I mean, ever since that happened, would you get like 500,000 subscribers within a week after?
After announcing, after announcing I had left, I jumped like I was at 30,000, so I've jumped 650,000 since announcing my departure from the channel, which is really cool. It was kind of like it's kind of like a mini shout out. I guess
it was unexpected, but it was.
Yeah, it was not expected at all.
Yeah,
it was not expected at all. Like I didn't expect. Let me pull it up real quick.
Well, I remember when you were talking to me when I first got hit the 100. You're like, oh, I hope I get mine soon. I'm like,
that was insane.
Just wait, it's gonna. I knew. I don't want to say I knew, but I knew it was going to happen very fast.
I was like,
that's my expectations completely.
I was game planning. I was like, I might hit it by the end of this year. I was like, 2020, I'm going to grind. I'm going to make some stuff happen. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hit 100K by the end of this year. It's going to be sick. Yeah. I post a video. The video gets 8.2 million views. That's what it says right now. 8.2 million views. And I skyrocket to 689,000 subscribers. I was just like, what just happened? Yeah, exactly. How? What? Awesome. So now I guess I'm a full-time YouTuber and streamer, which are people ask me all the time. Well, people ask me all the time, like, what do you enjoy more, YouTube or streaming? I'm gonna be honest with you, I enjoy streaming far more than YouTube.
Yes. There's less stress, just having fun. You don't have to worry about as much responsibility of the shot and everything.
The shots, you don't have to worry about that because you're literally just doing the same thing. You're just sitting here hanging out, and I'm like, I just have fun because like YouTube, and you know this, you're creating something.
You won't have to try to one up yourself.
Yeah, but you're creating something that you're hoping people will enjoy.
Yes.
Because you don't know, and you can't interact with it
at all.
Exactly, and you're just kind of like, well, I hope this is going to be a good video.
There's videos I spent countless hours on. I'm like, this is going to be a good one. It gets like 1,000 views. I'm like, all right.
Yep. But then it's like when you're streaming, you have people there with you.
Yeah, live. Yes.
Real time. You're able to talk to them. You're able to interact with them, get to know like people in your community. And I think that's one of the coolest things. I really think I have one of the best communities now in social media because I have the Discord, I have, the YouTube, I have the Twitch, and it's like so cool because it's like
your TikTok's over 1 million. You've got to everything around.
It's like you know you're doing good when you get that same group of people
through each platform
who are always there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're always so like when I stream, I know there's going to be like 10 to 15 people that are always going to be there no matter what. And that's like, I really feel like that means you made it because now you're establishing, you legitimately have a core audience who want to watch what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's super cool. There's no better feeling than that when you're in this world. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I couldn't.
That people want to take the time to watch you do something. It's just simple. I mean, I don't want to like, downgrade it, but as simple as playing a video game.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I never would have thought it'd be a thing. Now it's
like the norm.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just love it so much because it's like, I wish I had done it sooner, but at the same time, it's like, look, I get to play these video games and entertain people. And I'm like, who would have thought that's how all this would have turned out, going from I'm a diehard LSU fan, I want to play football at LSU to, hey, I'm a full-time streamer / YouTuber.
Yeah, I play video games.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
And it's just wild how all that's changed. But like my biggest thing is just like never give up. as like I hate how like niche that sounds and cliche it is. It's never give up. No, but it's like for real, just never give up. Like
stay persistent, and you showed that. So
yeah, if there's people listening like who want to like learn how to grow, it's like stay consistent. Yeah. Like because one day, like I've told people all it takes is one day, and all of a sudden you're gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Like look at your Lindy video.
Yeah, just keep
like for example.
Yeah.
You were posting video after video after video, getting, like 10, 15,000 views, some more, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you post that one Lindy video that blows up, gets over 1 million views. And it's just like, what? And it's like that point, it's like you just made a legitimately viral video.
Yeah. And then that one, the one my last episode with Bridget, hers went to 8 million.
There you go. So it's like,
it's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster. It's up and down. It's not easy. And a lot of people are like, oh, you just play video games for a living. I'm like, it's a lot more than... Yes, what am I doing when I'm streaming? I'm playing a video game, but I'm also
interacting,
hosting, and entertaining and interacting with a live audience. It's almost like being a talk show host.
Yeah,
it's exactly like that. I mean, except talk show hosts most of the time their stuff is scripted. Me, everything has to come out of my head. Yeah. Because that's the biggest thing.
No, you're pretty good at talking. I'm the one that stutters a little bit. I jump my words.
I have moments though where I mess up.
Like my brain doesn't work as fast sometimes as my mouth.
Yeah, so you're just like,
but then you got your one boy Cash. You'd be like, oh, what was that? And they call you out.
Yeah. Well, yesterday I was streaming after you lost your power. I was streaming, and I had somebody come in and their name was iCorey. I called them iCarly like 6 times.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you're used to like something else, and as soon as you see it different, you're like, oh, what's up, iCarly? Oh, you're Carly. Oh man, Corey, what's up? It's a guy. This is awkward. My biggest thing I've always wanted to push, which I think a lot of people appreciate, is that what you see is what you get with me. Mm-hmm. I don't try to put on a show when I stream or when I do anything. Like if you saw me in a YouTube video and they met me in real life, it's the same.
You're just naturally animated. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, this is how I am. This is how I live life. I mean, Shelby complains about it all the time. Mm-hmm. She calls me over dramatic and I'm like, whatever, maybe I am.
You probably like turn it down sometimes, but
I mean, there's sometimes like you can tell. So like, I'll get into it. Like I also suffer from depression.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to football, which is kind of crazy. Like, every time football season comes around, depression hits because I'm like, one, I miss playing it. 2, I also miss I don't know. I feel like I missed my chance to go to play in the NFL either by someone else's or something like that. So like I get all these like just depression hits and I get upset. So it's like me being like over dramatic and expressive.
What? The Rock didn't play in the NFL either.
Yeah, you're right. But still, it just hits me where it's like. And a lot of people don't really see that in a lot of people don't realize that, because it's like in life, if you're working a job and you really enjoy your job, you get like, if it's a regular job, you get to decide, as long as you do everything right and don't get fired, you get to decide when you quit.
Yeah.
Right? In the sports world, you never really get that. There's only
your time's up physically. Or your number's up by the
something happens. Yeah, and it's like you don't really ever get to choose. I gotta tell you something. Mm-hmm. You don't really get to choose when to call it quits. It's in like 9.999% of the time, it's chosen for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, so like with me in my football career, did I think I could keep going and play in the NFL? Yeah. Was my body able to keep going and play in the NFL at the time? Yeah. Did I go to the NFL and keep playing? Nope. And it's like, you see so many people where it's like, you had this great career, you're doing something, because I was a huge football guy. Mm-hmm. Loved football, lived, ate, breathed, whatever you want to call it, football. And then all of a sudden one day,
we all had that mindset though.
Oh yeah. But then at one day it was gone.
Yeah.
And it was over. And I'm like, I still deal with that today, and it sucks. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, but it's so hard to get over.
like I said, the Rock. And look where he was skyrocketed to, because he didn't. Yeah. So there's other paths that's going to even be better.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, I'm very blessed and grateful to be in the position I'm in, because I'm like, I could easily have ended up, just staying at Best Buy for the rest of my life,
right?
Thinking I was having a good job there, to where now I'm fortunate enough. Yeah, now I'm fortunate enough where I just bought a Wave Runner.
Yeah.
Like I'm able to, and I'm like, we're planning on traveling as soon as all the coronavirus and riots and all that stuff stops.
Yeah,
where like me and Shelby want to travel. I want to travel the world. That's like my biggest thing. I want to travel everywhere. So
have you been out of the United States?
I've only been out of the country once, and that was for a Mr. Beast video. I got to go to Rio, which was really cool. Yeah. Rio was really cool. I went with my buddy Jack from Juke Squad, and he hooked us up with a hotel right on the beach. Like, you walk out the front of the hotel, there's a street, beach, and it was amazing.
Nice.
So,
all right. Now, training wise, how have you been handling? Yeah. How have you been handling your workouts?
So at first, I was with a gym here called Champions. I had you sending me stuff to do and all that cool stuff. I was like doing stuff on my own, like trying to make up stuff. I was going off like what you had sent me, trying it, trying to figure out. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what like worked best for me. Yeah. So I was like playing around with that, but then of course coronavirus hits, gym shut down everywhere, which I was kind of like, well, gym's kind of like the last place you want to go, because let's be honest, gyms are disgusting.
Yes.
If you really want to think about it. So I was just hanging out, and then like 2 weeks had gone by, and I was like, dude, I need to work out.
Yeah.
Like so bad.
Getting restless. Yeah.
I was getting like, I got a little belly fat I got to get rid of now. And I was just like, oh
14,
my
15,
God.
Right?
Yeah. So, thankfully, one of I think Shelby's spray tanner knew Skylar and was like, well, he's taking clients, he's got his own like gym in his garage, you should reach out to him. And I was like, okay, bet. Reached out to him, met him, awesome dude. He took me in. He's got all these like different rogue equipment. Oh, it's so nice, because he's wanting to open up his own gym. So of course he's like accumulating stuff that he's eventually going to move into the gym. Okay. And so it's super dope. And he's been helping me out there a lot. And what's nice is like, it's outside. So I show up there. I don't care how hot it is. I'll show up there sweatpants and a hoodie, because I'm like, yo, I'm here to sweat.
I've got water. Cardio. I put as many layers as I can to sweat.
Yeah. I was like, I've got.
The point of this. Yeah.
I was like, I've got love handles I want to get rid of. Like all my weight on me sits in my lower stomach, around the sides, and then into my lower back. Okay. And some of it's like pretty thick where you can tell it's like, okay, that's pretty decent fat. But once you get to the front, you don't have a gut. Yeah, it almost feels like straight water weight. And it's like you just have a lot of water just sitting in you. So, like, I do my best to just, like, when I go work out with them, I show up, like I said, sweatpants, hoodie, or, like, a hoodie with shorts on. And I'm like, yo, I'm here to drop, like, 10 pounds right now.
Yeah, today.
Yes. In this heat, let's go. Like, it's 96 degrees outside today. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to go sit outside in, like, a full sweatsuit and just chill. But we actually had to start. This is the worst part. So me and Shelby moved into our own place, so people can stop asking. I don't live at the house anymore from the Mr. Beast videos. It was only a year worth of rent for free.
Okay.
So then once that was up, me and Shelby moved. Well, it's a duplex. You know, a duplex where it's like the one building, but it's got 2 houses in it.
Yes. Yeah, it's split.
So So we live in one of those. Well, it's only got a single AC unit for the whole place. Ooh. But it's like it's a pretty good AC unit, right? It does its job. But I think today it kind of kicked its last leg, because we had the AC on and it was set at 72, but the house was reading 80.
Didn't you just do that long ago?
That was at the old place. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So now I'm sitting here like, oh boy, my room gets hot. Like the room I'm in right now, I've got 2 PCs, mini fridge,
the lights, and everything go wild.
Yeah, I've got the 3 monitors. I've got the lights. I'm like, man, my room gets hot. Like I'm sweating right now, which I love it, because I'm like, hey, burning calories. All I'm doing is playing video games.
Are you taking a fat burner too, or no?
Sometimes I'll drink the Rain Infernos that have the
I hate those.
What is it called though? What do they claim to have in them?
Thermogenic.
Yeah, thermogenic.
Yeah, that means fat burning, but I don't like that flavor. I like a lot of Rains. I don't like that flavor.
I've got all three. I've got the jalapeno strawberry, the
like
red drag.
Yeah.
What you know what's funny? You know what's weird to me? This is what gets me. They came out with 3 thermogenic drinks.
Mm-hmm.
One of the 3 is actually named the flavor.
Oh right, yeah.
Like literally one
Red Dragon or something.
Yeah, one's called jalapeno strawberry. Then you have Red Dragon. Yeah. Then you have True Blue. I'm like, why couldn't y'all just like name
colors,
it
not flavors?
The flavor. Like what? I don't understand this. But I think half my problem is I drink rain too much. I drink like 1 a day.
Oh my god. Yeah, your tolerance is probably through the roof right now.
Dude, my cat.
I gotta let my little dog out real quick.
Uh-oh. Look at her. Oh, look at the little puppy.
She's 17.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we'll let her out real quick.
Oh my goodness.
How many cats do you have over there now?
We have 2. Shelby wants to get a 3rd, and I'm like, no.
Are you ever gonna get a dog?
Yes. Oh god, I'm a huge dog guy, so I want to.
I thought so. Yeah.
We eventually want to move. My eyes are kind of set right now for Orlando. I'm a huge Disney dude. Huge Disney. Yeah. Disney and Universal. So I'm like, those places are sick. Orlando. Every time I've been to Orlando, I've really enjoyed it. The weather's always been super nice.
Very humid.
It's humid. Well, it's not as bad as like Louisiana was. I'm like, I've lived in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. I was like, whatever. I mean, it's got the beach.
Just doing with Texas.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all like, and so I'm like, Orlando's a pretty cool place. Like, there's a lot to do there. It's a big city. You're super close to like Miami, Tampa, Jacksonville. You got all that there. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, of course, you have Disney, you have Universal. There's a lot to do. And I'm like, that'd be a great place because I also want to get a boat. I want to have a boat and like,
be close to the shore.
North Carolina's cool. Like, I love having the beach and I love having the mountains. My family's here, but at the same time, like, I want to make it fair for Shelby because her family's all the way in Mississippi, Alabama.
Yes.
So I'm like, I got to make it fair. I was like, so Orlando would be a cool place to be like a middle place. And so my goal, I think within the next 2 years, we're going to move down there. I want to try and get like a decent sized house. So like family can come visit. Yeah. But I want the house like I'm planning ahead for the future. Like where do I want to what do I want to have later on? Where do I want to be so I know what kind of work I got to put in now to relax later. Yeah. And like one of the things is I want to have a really nice house on one of the waterways so that I can get a really cool boat that I can then take out either down like the river or out into the ocean.
And now you no longer have the boat that you want.
Yeah, I no longer have the boat I want. I finally sold it today. But I'm already looking at other boats. Yeah. But this is for like, I was showing Shelby, I found this one. It's a Formula Yacht. So Formula is the boat company. Yacht is the name of the boat they make. It's beautiful, but a brand new one.
Like a yacht.
Yeah, it's over 40 feet long, so it's pretty.
Right.
The one I was looking at, it has 1, 2, 3, pretty much 4 beds in it.
Nice.
Like in the cabin. Really nice boat. It was like a 2014, and it's like $549,000. And I'm like, I was showing Shelby, and she goes, "We can't afford it." I was like, "I'm not talking about now. Yeah. I'm talking about like, this is what I want to have in 5 to 10 years, along with a house, and boom, we're good."
Yep.
But like my goal is like to have my and Shelby's vehicles paid off. I want to get rid of my student debt.
Me too. That's my main thing.
Speaking of which, I need to make a payment on it. Thank you for reminding me. And then that's what I want. And then I want to have toys. Like I want to have a decent house, but then like I have my Wave Runner now, which I'm super excited about. I was able to. My biggest thing when it comes to getting toys, like if you're in the position where you make good money to treat yourself, you might as well do it big. You might as well, you know what I mean?
Don't sell something right under the cusp, but get the one you want. And
you get what you want. Yes, it's going to be more. It's going to be more expensive. At the same time, it's like, look, you literally have one life.
Yeah.
You have no idea how long your life is going to last.
Exactly.
So you might as well. Why settle? If you look at your finances, and say you're buying like me, if I'm buying a Wave Runner, right? Mm-hmm. And you look at your finance, if you're able to afford the high-end model just as easily as you could have afforded the low-end model, why not get the high-end model? Why not?
Yeah, what's the quote saying? It's like, if you can afford it X amount of times, then before you buy it.
Yeah.
Buy it, something like that.
Exactly. So, and it's like, and right now.
You got to be smart about it, but still enjoy yourself.
Be smart about it, but like don't
splurge.
Well, yeah, but it's also like, don't be like, it's the same mentality I had when I was at LSU. Like don't have that why not, or you know what I mean, like, or what if, the what if. It's like, hey, like when I got my truck, I was getting I got a 2019 Sierra when I traded my Camaro in.
Yep.
And they're like, at first they were showing me like the base model, and I was like, well, how much more is it to get the fully loaded SLT? And they're like, oh, it's only this much more. Your payment will only go by like this much a month. And I was like,
yeah,
I can afford that. I'm like, why? I mean, but if you don't ask that question,
that's what I like.
Yeah, it's like, if you don't ask that question, a lot of like salespeople when they reach out, hey, I want to buy a Wave Runner, and the first one they show you, if it's only like 10 grand, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that. You don't even look at the one that's like 12 grand, right? Because you don't realize that they still offer 60-month financing.
Yeah.
Or it's like, okay, well, 12 grand over 60 months is still like only an extra like $50 to $100 a payment. So it's like, can you afford that? Yeah. If you're buying a Wave Runner, you can afford an extra $50 to $100 a month for a better one.
It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah. And so I went all out on the Wave Runner, which I'm pretty excited about. Like, I'm thankful that I can do that.
Yeah. And now,
like I said,
the truck lifted yet?
Truck is lifted. Went ahead and lifted that bad boy. I got a 6-inch lift sitting on 37s. Yeah. Okay. This is the best part. So got a rough country lift, which I think is hilarious, which is like pretty good. Like, I didn't want to go all out because at the same time, I'm one of those people though, where like in the car world, if you heard of Fab Four,
kind of. I don't know exactly what
they're like the cream of the crop, like metal fenders and bumpers and stuff, right? Okay. And I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, well, what's the difference between? Yeah, I look at it this way. There you have Fab Four, where we'll say it's like 10 grand for a front bumper. Then you have like this company I'm going with called Bodyguard, where it's like 2 grand for a front bumper.
Right.
And I'm like, what's actually the difference between the two besides the name on it?
Yeah.
Because I've learned in the electronic world, which this goes everywhere else.
Yeah.
It's probably the same person is making the steel that both companies are buying it from.
Yeah.
That's how it all ends up.
Supplements are like that too. A lot of protein companies in place, just a different label.
Yep. And it's like once you figure that out, you don't care. Decision. You don't care about the name anymore because there's no point unless you want to be one of those people who are obsessed about names.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'll admit, like we were talking earlier with the cameras, I've got a Sony A7 III.
Right.
When I went and bought a new lens, I went ahead and just bought a Sony because it's like,
yeah.
For me,
even with that, I'm not against a certain brand. It's like if it's a certain maybe style, or because every lens obviously has a different look, color, profile to it. So it's like if there's a use for it, there's no reason to not go against different brands and then try different looks. So
but then it's like when it comes to like the car stuff, I'm like, why am I going to spend the extra money on something that literally is the same thing?
Yeah.
And like one of my favorite quotes. Yeah, and it's like one of those quotes from that country song where she's like, why would I buy bra at Victoria's Secret when I get the same thing at Walmart for half price?
Yeah.
And I'm like, pretty much accurate. It's legitimately accurate. But yeah, so I got my lift kit from Rough Country because I'm like, look, Rough Country is still a great brand. They make great stuff. My lift kit was only $1,200. Well, then we got Shelby over here who wants to do like a full decked out Jeep. And I was like, babe, I got you. I'll get you a lift kit with the tires you want.
In her car?
Do what?
Does she have a roof in her car yet?
No, she has the roof, but she wants to get like the glass pane one.
Okay.
But thankfully, she's taught herself out of it because she's like, you can't cover the glass, so it's always open. I was like, thank you. Anyway,
I just remember the one time I went to Texas to go film, and she was driving around with the Pinhead and the Michael in the back seat.
Yeah,
she was looking like, what is going on?
Yeah, thankfully she doesn't have that in her new Jeep. Thankfully.
Yeah.
But no, she wants to get a lift kit done, but then she was like, well, I want 40-inch tires. Well, then the guy tells me, he's like, well, if she gets 40 tires, you got to get new wheels. And I was like, bro, this shit's getting expensive, ain't it?
Yeah.
Well, I just looked. Just her lift kit is $2,500. And I was like,
oh, my God.
Because it's a Jeep lift kit. And I'm like, bro, mine was only 12. What's going on?
It's a Jeep brand. I gotcha.
Yeah, and then she was wanting to get the updated shocks. I went and looked at it, and it was $4,000. And I was like, bro, just your lift kit is the same price as my lift and tires. And labor.
Exactly.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, babe, we're going to need a brand deal, so we're going to wait a little bit. But it's cool. Like, it's nice, like, when you put in the work and you get into a good position to look back and, like, thank yourself for, the grind because future you will appreciate it because, like, I appreciate past me so much because I'm in the position right now where I don't want to sound cocky, but at the same time, it's like if I go to a nice restaurant and we like eat out, like me and my family went to a place called Persimmons, which is on the river in New Bern. It's like a nice restaurant. I paid for everyone's meal and I didn't even look at the bill.
You weren't like worried, like, oh, can I do this?
Yeah. I was like, I don't care. You know, it's like, I know I have the money. I'm good. But it's not like, I've got money. And I'm just like, I'm very like, I'm thankful that I'm humble because of like my family. But it's like also like I'm very appreciative of my past self for putting in the time, putting in the work, putting in the effort to get me to where I am today. And I know me in 10 years from now is going to be thankful and appreciative for the work I've put in now.
Yes.
You know, because like my end game, I've told like a handful of people this. My end game, and this might sound like, oh, Jake, you're just full of yourself. My end game is to have like a nice ass house. I'm talking like nice. Like I want 5-6 bedrooms, right? Movie theater. Yeah. Like I'm legitimately, I want a nice ass house. No, that's paid for. Mm-hmm. I want, 3 vehicles, all paid for. I want, toys. So like 4-wheelers, boats, jet ski, all that. And then I want to have like, I told Shelby, I want like 3 or 4 kids, all taken care of, no issues. And I want this at the age of like 40, retired.
Okay.
And just chill the rest of life.
You're never going to actually retire. Let's face it.
You're right. I don't think I could ever.
This day and age, dude, this quarantine, I get so bored not doing anything. I couldn't imagine ever retiring.
Yeah, that's like, and I've kind of figured out for my parents. So both my parents were in education, and now they own their antique store.
Right.
And
so
I'm like, I'm like, when y'all gonna retire? Like, we are retired, but
it's just not stressful work anymore. Yeah.
And what's crazy is they have like enough. The store makes enough money where they could hire a full staff to run the store for them. They won't do it because they'd rather work. Yeah. And I'm like,
keep them busy.
Yeah, and like gives them something to do, And I'm like, that's kind of cool. But I guess that's how I'm gonna be. I just got to figure out what that's gonna be. But like literally 40 at the age of 40, I want to literally be able to say like, yeah, I'm pretty much like done with everything, but still have stuff to do. Right. But at the age of 40, just kick back, relax, hang out with the kids, hang out.
Worries are gone. You're pretty much comfortable. You're set.
That's my end game. That's kind of why like I'm on this grind where it's like, hey, I want to stream every day because I know if I miss one day, I could have missed a huge potential. Mm-hmm. I want to be pumping out YouTube videos because I'm like, look, this is just, a way to make more money. And I hate to sound that I'm like money driven, but in today's age, it's like, I understand that you can't do anything unless you have money.
Right.
And I hate how people are like, oh, money can't buy you happiness. And I'm like, I'll be that person to argue with you. Yeah, money can buy you happiness. Cause like, I'll say this, that Wave Runner, when I take it out this weekend, I'm gonna be very happy.
On it, yeah.
So how did I get the Wave Runner? I bought it. Yes. How did I buy it? With money. So I'm like, but I don't want to be the person where like all I care about is like money. I'm on that money grind. I just want to have all the money in the world. No. But it's like
a priority. It has to be.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be that person where it's like I want to make sure that there's enough money in my account where literally I get very impulsive. I'm a very impulse person, but I want to be that person where it's like if I'm out somewhere and I see something I want, or if like I'm out somewhere with my kids later on and they see something they want, I don't have to question if I should buy it because of finance issues.
Right.
It's going to be more like
was that Batman impulsive?
Oh, 100%, dude. Look at this thing. It's massive.
That's the biggest pop I've ever seen. I haven't seen anything. Dude, if they make a Thanos like that, I'll have it.
This is why I'm not allowed to go into GameStop. Right here. Every time I go into GameStop, I'll just tell, like I told Shelby the last time we went, I was like, I just want to go. They're open. They probably don't have anything because the dude told us on the phone they haven't been getting like really any shipments in. I was like, let's just go, get out of the house, do something, see what's in there. We walk in, that thing is on the top shelf, and I'm like, I'm buying it.
Wow. Yep.
Shelby was like, how much? I was like, I don't care, I'm buying it.
Yeah. They didn't make a Thanos like that. They have to.
Dude. This is what hurt my feelings a little bit. It was $100.
Yes.
And it's reselling for $5. I was like, could have resold it and just bought another one. No, but
still can. You get
I threw the box away. The box is gone. I threw it away. I was like, 'cause I don't care. See, I'm like not a collector. All my pops are open.
I know.
Except for like a handful. I've got all the Star Wars, Target exclusives where they have like the graffiti on them. They're all up there. They're not open. Okay. But like the rest of mine, they're open, and I'm like, dude, I'm chilling. Like,
every single one of my pops are still in their boxes and stacked nicely.
How cool is this?
That is cool.
It's like, and look at the back. He's got the full cape. Like, I open pretty much all of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
all mine are still brand new in the boxes on my wall. So
nice, but yeah, mine no. And Shelby hates me every time I open them, but I'm like, whatever, babe. It is what it is.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that open them and then they just keep the boxes and store them somewhere. I'm like, you're taking up twice the amount of space.
Guilty. I've got that with some of them, and I'm kind of just like
certain ones, but like for all of them, just keep their boxes somewhere else. I'm like, you take a whole closet full of boxes, man.
Pretty much, I've got a lot of boxes that I've kept, and I'm kind of just like, every time I go in there and look at it, I'm kind of like, why do I have these?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna throw them away. I'm eventually gonna throw them away. It's just a lot of boxes to get rid of, but I'm just like, I'm probably gonna throw it away eventually. But
so being stuck inside, what have you guys been watching movies wise? You and Shelby, or shows?
We just watched the Chris Hemsworth movie. What was it?
Extraction. Yeah.
Yeah, Extraction. That was cool.
Phenomenal, yeah.
That was a cool action movie. What we really been doing? Do what?
Very well made. I talked about this actually with the episodes.
Okay, so this is what's cool. Since me and you are big fans of cinematography, that one scene that they did in one continuous shot, kudos to them.
Well, have you followed the director since? Okay. Well, after this, you gotta go find Sam Hargrave is the director.
Okay.
He got this opportunity because he was the stunt coordinator for the Avengers movies. So Joe Russo was a producer. He said, hey, it was your first directorial debut. It's a big blockbuster. It's like, you don't get a better break than that.
That's pretty.
And that's why he's actually one running with the camera, doing all this stuff. He's on wires, jumping over the building with the camera.
Wow.
So it's like you both, and you get these amazing shots.
You're like, hey, we got a stunt man. Put a camera in his hands.
See what we can do.
It turned out. Yeah. What I hate though is like, I feel like the average viewer doesn't appreciate stuff like that. But for people like me and you, it's like,
I'm like, I know what it took to get that shot, and it's very hard.
Yeah. And like, have you seen The Haunting of Hill House?
Yes. Oh, the one shot there, it was 7-minute take.
The one shot in the morgue?
Yes.
That was any
wonders like that. Well, did you see 1917 yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Obviously, it wasn't entirely a wonder, but they make it look like it is, and I think it's flawless.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to be careful with movies like that because like Shelby's like gotten to the point where she's like, I don't really like war movies. They're just upsetting.
Oh my god, it is.
Can we watch something funny? And I'm like, I want to watch someone get their head blown out. Sorry.
Well, one day you gotta watch it by yourself then, because it's
exactly. Yeah. But I mean,
just from a point of view, you'd appreciate it a lot.
Really? Yes. I need to watch it then. I'll probably watch it like this weekend or something. But like, it's hard to find time because, again, back to like the grind. If I'm not, I always try to look to see what I can be doing to be growing in some way. So a lot of times I'm up here either streaming or like talking to people or like looking at YouTube stuff to figure out what I can do to make stuff
research
better.
Another thing for the point where people have obligations where instead of me streaming, I'm watching things to
and a lot of times what we'll do is like right now I have a streamer on because I like to watch other successful streamers to see what they're doing to then try and incorporate it in my own way on my channel. That's a big, like, I'm always trying to learn. I'm always watching like camera reviews because I'm always trying to learn about, cameras. Like I have this A7 III and I'm like, I want to learn the in and outs of it so that when I go to film something or I go to take a picture,
what it should be, do I have everything right?
Like, am I able?
Peter McKinnon also, right?
A lot of Peter McKinnon. I also watched the dude with the afro. I forgot his name. But I watch a lot of people, and I just try to like gather up as much information as I can. I look to see what's trending and all that fun stuff because I'm just ever trying to just grow. So when you say like, oh, what movies do you watch? It's like, I don't really watch movies because it's like, I love going to the movies. That's my big. I love going to the movies.
That's why I kind of missed that. That's one of the things I miss the most right now.
Yes. So like, I will always be one of those people who like, if a movie's coming out in theaters that I really want to go see, I'm gonna go see it in theaters. Yes. Like, I'm not going. I don't care if I have to spend $20 on a ticket because I just enjoy seeing a movie at the theater.
Well, that's why that AMC A-list thing.
I got that too. Dude,
no, that was a no-brainer. No-brainer for me.
Signed up for it the month before coronavirus.
Oh no, I got a lot of use out of that. $25 a month. I used to make 4 movies a month.
I was so upset. But
like a movie like Endgame, you can never duplicate that experience again.
Yeah, there's movies that you should see in theaters. And again, I'm a huge movie guy. Like all my tattoos are almost movie related.
Let me see the mic. If you could lift.
You'll see the mic. I can't. It's not done yet, but.
There it is. Nice. It's coming along.
It still looks. It looks really dope.
Yeah,
it's not finished yet. Once he got to here,
and that's based on the 2018.
Bro, I was crying when he got to that back part.
Right?
Crying. So I stopped. I was like, I can't. I'm gonna wait. I came home, ordered me some of this bad boy. It's a numbing cream. So when I go back, I ain't gonna be able to feel my leg. Guaranteed. Don't care.
I don't know what it feels like. I've never gotten one, so I'll take your word for it.
So tattoos for me and for a lot of people that I've mentioned this to are very addicting, and this is how it works. Okay, this is the breakdown of how getting a tattoo experience works. Right? You think about the tattoo, you get an idea, you're very excited because you like the idea, you love the idea of where you're gonna put it. You're super excited, right? You're like, I'm doing it, getting this tattoo, I want it, it's sick. Let's make it happen. You plan the appointment. You get super excited. You go in to get the tattoo. You're amped, right?
Yeah.
About to get this tattoo. It's about to be sick. Let's go. You put your arm out like you're going to get your arm done. You hear the gun turn on. And you're like, okay, it's real. Soon as they start tattooing you, you're like, why the fuck am I doing this?
You go back for more.
Because it hurts, right?
Yeah.
It hurts. Whole time you're just like, dude, it doesn't hurt. And then in your head, you're like, this hurts a lot. And then everyone will tell you, nah, my tattoo didn't hurt. Someone tells you their tattoo didn't hurt, they're lying to you.
They just handled it. It's like, to me, that's like leg day.
Yeah, so it's like
sucks, but I still go back and do it.
But like I'm telling you, tattooing hurts. I don't care who you are, how many tattoos you've got, it hurts, right? Yeah. So you're getting the tattoo done, you're sitting there crying in your head like, I'm never doing this again. This is the worst decision ever. After it's done, it feels like a really bad sunburn. So you're like, oh my God, how long is this going to last? You deal with it for a week. You're like, oh, so glad it's over. This tattoo's sick. Never getting another one. Then like the week after the week it stops hurting.
You're like, I'm ready.
You're like, I can get another one.
Yeah.
And then you just start the whole process over again. And you're like, you find this tattoo, you're super excited. Like, I'm going to get this tattoo.
And then
you go in and go get it. But then this one's a little different.
You're expecting
soon as you hear that tattoo machine turn on, you're like, oh shit, why am I here?
Yeah.
And it starts doing it. Yeah. And it's the process. You're just like,
I don't know if I could ever do it. Yeah. My girlfriend has her legs are covered. But right. I don't know if I could ever do it. And my mind changes so much that I feel like if I sound something I don't like it later, I'll regret it.
Well, a lot of stuff is just like stuff that's like stuck with me for so long. Like my first tattoo was Franklin on my back. Of course, I'm proud of who I am. I'm gonna boast it. I don't care.
Yeah, stuff like that doesn't go bad.
The idea of like Batman, I got Batman on my chest, which says "Become a Legend," and my like reason for that is Batman is one of those characters where he doesn't have any superpowers. He's just extremely wealthy. So in reality, anyone could become Batman.
Right.
Anyone could take the step to become a legend, which is kind of the reason why I got that, because it's like it literally could be anyone.
Or for Marvel fans, they could be Iron Man.
Iron Man, but Iron Man's a little different because I feel like the science involved in Iron Man is a little like fantasy driven, because it's like, can you really make that kind of a suit that compact to do everything? It's like, do I think we'll get to that point? Yes, but in like today's age, no.
Like the hovering stuff and the beams and blasters and
the like unlimited energy from his little arc thing. It's kind of like, I don't know.
That's a little like far-fetched. Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as like almost everything you see Batman, and I'm saying Batman, not the villains, because like
all the villains are supernatural, basically.
All the villains are supernatural, except kind of Joker, but he has like a little bit of supernatural to him.
He can't get killed somehow.
Yeah, it's like it's Joker and Catwoman. I think are the only two that are really like kind of like normal-ish. But everyone else, you can't even put them on the table as this, because it's like
reptile.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like as far as like Batman himself,
yes,
and you look at his gadgets, to me it's like all of it is possible, right? If you have the money to pay for like all that, it's possible. And it's like it could literally be anyone, and that's why he has the mask, because he wants to be. I think they said in the movie he wants to be the symbol of hope, and it's like he wears the mask so that it could literally just be anyone, you know.
We're all Batman.
Yeah, we're all Batman. Yeah. And then like I have like the Lord of the Rings, because Lord of the Rings stuck with me just because I just feel like you learn so much if you actually read the books and watch the movies.
I used to love Lord of the Rings too. Yeah.
There's like so many little things here and there that you can just learn from it, as far as like just being a better person. And like the battle is always consistent between good and evil and all that fun stuff. And then of course Harry Potter.
So you have Harry Potter also? Yeah,
I have Hogwarts after. This is Hogwarts after the final battle. It's all on fire. It's behind the Witch King. Like there's one of the towers, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, right here. And then we got one of the other towers over here. It's all on fire. Again, like it's just like Harry Potter sticks more because when the movie started coming out, I was like the same age as the kids were supposed to be. So as Harry Potter grew up in the movie world, I was growing up with him. Yeah. So that Harry Potter holds like a very special place in my heart just because of that. And then of course Star Wars, just love it.
So you got all the franchises on there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, this is like Star Wars. I just feel like a lot of these just like, I feel like you can just learn so much from, the
blockbuster sleeve, we'll call that.
Yeah. And like you learn so much from just the lessons they try to teach in the movies, which I'm like, this is really cool. Then I have a Game of Thrones one. And this one stuck. I only appreciate this line really from Game of Thrones because it's the never forget what you are. The rest of the world will not wear it like armor. It can never be used to hurt you. I was like super bullied and all that in middle school and all that. Yeah. So if that has like, don't forget who you are and don't let anybody change it. And it's like, and again, it's like if you're able to, like the way I look at it, if you're able to fully accept who you are, what you like, what you don't like, when anyone tries to attack you for your beliefs, they can't bother you whatsoever because
you're into it.
Yeah, and you fully accepted it. Like that's who you are. And like that's how I feel. Like I'm 6'5", like 280, I guess, big muscle guy, but then I'm like a teddy bear who's a huge geek. Right. And it's like people could attack me all the time for that. And I'm like,
well, I appreciate that you look into the philosophy of all of it like that.
Yeah.
I like this movie, I just like that. But you actually
when I actually went to LSU, the degree they were telling me I was only eligible to study because of like football and NCAA and SEC rules was philosophy. Okay. And I was my parents have always told me I've been like a deep thinker, and I kind of think on multiple levels because random shit will just come out of me.
Yeah.
And it kind of hit harder when I was taking philosophy because I was able to understand what they meant at that point. And again, that's where like all the love and passion and just the deep thinking behind everything when I watch it kind of comes from. And that's where all of this comes from. And like, there's reasons for the stuff I like that I feel like I understand more than someone else because they're not as open to it about it. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I feel like I'm rambling now, but at the same time, like it makes sense.
Well, no, it's actually, I think, a good closing point because transparency is key. And
transparency, yes, 100%. And transparency and over communicating is key.
Over communicating.
And the reason why I say that is like I work with the merch company. Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that. The merch company. So it's like
and I joined my shirt in the beginning of the video.
I was wearing your shirt. Now I'm wearing this Stumpy shirt, but whatever. Different days, blackouts, all that fun stuff. Yep. But no, like the merch company. Like, the reason why I say over communicating because it's like with the merch company, I'm working with a company that's based out of Ohio. And what's really cool is they're handling pretty much everything for me. They're handling the design, the fabric,
shipping, everything.
The shipping. They're handling everything. And the reason why I say over communicating is key is because one thing that's always triggered me is when someone just tries to beat around the bush or not really tell you exactly what they're thinking, mm-hmm. which I've had to deal with that a lot. My whole philosophy is
the point, right?
Yeah. My whole philosophy is like screw going around the bush, go straight through it. Like mm-hmm. say what you mean, say how you feel, because one, you can't misinterpret.
Right.
Like, I'm looking for a cool example. Where's a cool example? Here we go. Screwball whiskey, right? If I tell you I love Screwball whiskey, what do you get from that? I really like this drink. Yeah. Now, if I'm telling you, yeah, it tastes pretty good.
I guess I like it. Yeah.
The texture's cool. It smells nice.
It's very uncertain.
You don't. Yeah. It's like, okay, I think he likes it. I don't know. And that's kind of how and that's why I say like over communicate because like when I talk with the merch people, if there's stuff I like, I'm like blatantly explaining it and overly explaining it because now
over communicate and overemphasize them.
Exactly. Yes, because now it's like there can't be any. If there is miscommunication, if there is miscommunication, you just go back to the message and be like, what part of this did you not understand?
Right.
And that's what I always try to live by. Like, I love to over communicate. I love to explain it more in depth than I probably should, because to me, I'm fully getting everything out to you that you need to hear to help make a better decision. That's just like with the videos. Like when you're videoing, if I'm trying to explain a shot to you, I'm not just gonna be like, I'm just gonna go like this.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? Well, no, I'm going to pan with the camera like this, with this kind of angle to get this kind of shot. Yeah.
At this moment, at this action, get this. And...
Exactly. Yeah. So it all makes sense. Like, I feel like it's very chaotic, but at the same time, like, once you like understand what's coming out and like what you're able to picture what they're seeing, it's like, oh, this is obvious now.
Well, the more precision and detail, the better.
Exactly. So, exactly. And I'm huge on detail. Like, I'm pretty sure you see some of the videos we make. I'm like, obsessed with the detail part of it.
Yeah.
Because I want to put out, when it comes to like my streaming and my YouTubes, I want to put out like the best.
Yeah, top notch.
The best I can, and then I want to up it the next time.
Yep. That's the game, right?
Yeah. Always trying to one up yourself.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up. So
yeah.
Thank you for letting us get into the mind of the Viking. And
as crazy as it is sometimes.
Yeah. I'm glad we got to learn a little bit about you today and how it works.
Yeah. Well, the past 2 days, but whatever.
Yeah, 2 days. Yeah, thank you very much for all
Dude, thank you for having me, man.
It was great. And then I look forward to I'll be seeing you soon.
Yes, you will. I'm excited.
Content in person.
So, yes. We'll see if you still like me after that.
Yeah, I know. That's going to be – we'll see if you're the same person in the camera and in person. That'll be the –
Pressure's on now. Pressure's on.
All right. Well, that wraps up episode 3 of Real Talk with Jake the Viking. Peace.